This is Perfect English Practice Podcast. Unlock your potential with episodes designed to boost your English fluency through practical advice, real-world conversations, and cultural understanding. Whether it's improving grammar, expanding vocabulary, or perfecting pronunciation, we've got you covered every step of the way. Hit subscribe and start your journey toward mastering English one step, one episode, one success at a time.
So, Anthony, I love this idea that, as our life expectancy increases, people are seeing the end of middle age as a kind of beginning. But it does feel like that may be easier done if you have the financial means. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, is it really realistic to say, let me reinvent myself and do some good in the world?
No, it's a totally fair point, Aisha. And clearly, having the ability to reinvent yourself might be a bit of a luxury that a lot of people can't afford. But also consider this, that there are lots of people, no matter their social economic status, that are really creative and resourceful. For example, one academic who's written about reinvention later in life told me about a woman who cleaned hotel rooms for a living, but her passion was helping animals. So she changed careers late in life and went to work in an animal shelter. Not to earn tons of money, but it brought her way more happiness in a sense that she was doing some good in the world. And Aisha, there's another woman who I met who also found a new path despite limited resources. Can I tell you about her?
Yes, please.
Okay, so her name is Natalie Jones. She grew up in Boston in the 1960s in a working-class family, granddaughter of Italian immigrants, and she told me that from a very early age, there was zero expectation that she would go to college. It just wasn't part of the family conversation. And in fact, when she was 12, the school she was going to asked her to choose whether she was business-bound or college-bound. And Natalie told me it was a choice that just left her completely dumbfounded.
I didn't even know what that meant. I think it was based on your family's economics, really. My mother just said, check off business. So the classes I took in the 7th and 8th grade were not college preparatory. But I never thought that I was smart enough to go to college.
But Natalie was also a bit of a rebel and a risk taker. And after high school, she takes off on a trip to Europe. She traveled to Spain. She met an Irishman with whom she fell in love. And eventually they returned to the Boston area, got married, had a couple of kids. But it turned into sort of a hard life for them. Money was tight. They both worked at low-paying jobs, living paycheck to paycheck. And after about 12 years, the marriage was in crisis. And then her husband dropped a bombshell.
And he just came home one night and said, I want a divorce. And it was like a kick in the stomach.
So at 41, she's got 2 sons, age 5 and 9, and no college degree.
Ooh, yeah, being in that situation and now she got to take care of 2 kids and no college degree, that is a very difficult situation to be in.
It is. But Natalie is resourceful. You know, she juggled multiple part-time jobs, including waitressing and office work. Then she joined a support group for families dealing with divorce. And eventually, she became a volunteer facilitator and discovered that she was pretty good at it. And despite the fact that she spent her whole life convinced that she wasn't smart enough to go to college, in her mid-40s, she makes the decision to go to college and pursue a degree in human services.
I'm walking across the parking lot with tears rolling down my eyes saying, oh my God, I'm in college. And I was just so thrilled to be there.
So with loans and scholarships, Natalie continues her studies. And just shy of her 60th birthday, she got a master's degree and then became a licensed clinical therapist. And today she's well into her 70s and says she plans to keep working into her 80s.
I'm constantly saying to people, you can write your own script.
No, that is a great story. I mean, really all of these stories are incredibly inspiring. And even just in my personal life, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, if they can do it, well, maybe I need to keep trying too.
We can all do it.
Yeah, but tell us why these stories matter to you and why maybe they'll matter to, all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd make 2 points. First, for those who haven't already reached their older years, These stories are a chance to learn something about the road ahead from people who have already traveled it. You could put it another way. Wisdom matters. It's inspiring to hear these stories. And I think it makes us all kind of reflect on our own lives and what we can do with our later years. And the other idea is this. These stories show the transformative power of human passion and the search for lifelong avocation. And that is literally a matter of life and death for all of us. And by that, I mean, we know that people who feel that they have a purpose in life live longer. And that's according to a growing body of research. One study out of Canada found that people with a sense of purpose had a 15% lower risk of death compared with those who said they were aimless. So they matter for that reason.
So before I let you go, I guess I'm wondering if this third act, this time of reinvention, does it go beyond work? I guess a lot of people might go, I don't really want to spend much more time making money. I want to spend more time on art or writing or other creative pursuits.
Yeah, it's a great question. And it brings us to what was probably my favorite third act story about an all-woman rock and roll band.
An all-woman rock and roll band. Tell me more.
All right, this band is called the Ace of Cups.
Do you know, baby, I ain't hard to reach at all.
So, Aisha, this is a song from the Ace of Cups 2018 debut album. And the band members are all women. But this record almost didn't happen. The band was born in San Francisco in the 1960s, and they played with a lot of really well-known bands, including Jefferson Airplane and the Grateful Dead, but they never recorded an album. They never managed to do that. And as you can imagine, sexism had a lot to do with that. Denise Kaufman plays guitar for the Ace of Cups, and she said that even landing gigs could be a challenge. And she told me a story about trying to book a club in the 1960s in San Francisco.
Our manager called there and talked to the booking guy, and he goes, yeah, all girl band. Absolutely. We'll book them, but they have to play topless.
Oh my God.
And I said, you call them back and tell them we won't play topless, but we'll play naked.
So, well, they didn't play naked, but by 1972, the band was pretty much done. Some of the members started having kids, they found other work, and eventually they went their separate ways.